Alright, so let's talk about Hi-Fi Rush. This was a surprise drop game that was announced during the Xbox/Bethesda Developer Direct that happened on January 25th, 2023. It's a rhythm action game with a highly stylized graphics and overtones. So is it worth playing? I'll be going over a bit of the story, how the game plays, then we'll come right back here for my final thoughts on Hi-Fi Rush. Let's get started. It was developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda Software. It's available on Steam PC, Xbox consoles, and is going for $29.99 US. All the footage you're seeing today was taken straight from my Let's Play of Hi-Fi Rush, link in the description to my playlist of that if you're interested. The story and setting of Hi-Fi Rush takes place in a futuristic society where robots and cyborgs are the norm. You play as Chai. His dream is to be a rock star, however, he's not able to use his right arm. He decides to sign up for an experimental treatment on an island run by a mega corporation who promises to aid them by replacing limbs and other quote-unquote fixes. During his transformation, his music player accidentally gets thrown into his chamber and he becomes fused with it. He gains the ability to become hypersensitive to the world's music and rhythm. His new magnetic arm, which was originally going to be for waste collection management, can now turn into a guitar axe, which Chai uses to fight. He's deemed a defect due to this abnormal change and is ordered for execution. He fights back and soon learns that this mega corporation has some more sinister plans afoot. He ends up teaming with other like-minded rebels, and that's the story of Hi-Fi Rush. The gameplay loop of Hi-Fi Rush can be summarized in three primary gameplay aspects, these being missions, combat, and downtime. Let's start with missions. And game progression is separated into levels. Each level takes around 30 to 50 minutes or so depending on how fast you play. A typical mission sees you running around, platforming, and fighting. There's lots of things to collect and secrets to find. Cutscenes are scattered throughout each level, and it usually ends with major fights, whether they be waves of enemies or larger ones like boss fights. Next is combat. It's a rhythm-based beat 'em up. Each level has an original track that you'll fight to the beat. Almost everything you do in the game is influenced by how well you can time it to the music. For example, attacks do more score and damage. Dodging allows you to cover more ground, and you can even parry attacks made from enemies who also behave to the beat. Other combat aspects include combos, special attacks, partner interactions, and way more. Now moving on to the downtime. Between each mission, you'll hang around and prepare in your hideout. Here you can check your achievement progression and challenges. These allow you to earn more gears, which is a currency used for upgrading. In the shop, you can purchase new abilities like extra combos, special attacks, and even permanent upgrades to health, special bar, and slots for customizing. You can customize even more stats and skills via chips. These can be slotted on and off to change up your playstyle. Simple things to decreasing partner cooldowns, all the way to increasing health drops. There's lots of ways to go about changing up Chai's gameplay, and that's Hi-Fi Rush in a nutshell. Alright, so that's how the game works. What about my final thoughts on Hi-Fi Rush? What are some standout elements, and is this game going to be worth your time and money? Okay, let's start with just how much this was a shadow surprise drop. I was watching the Xbox Bethesda Developer Direct. I was watching another streamer react to stream to it, and then all of a sudden this game popped up, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It looks like a, jet grind / set radio graphics. I love beat 'em up rhythm games. And then they said out later today, and not only that, but they didn't even mention the price during that time. It just said it's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass, and I have the Ultimate, so amazing value. So I'm very excited. I played it that same day. Looking at the whole thing, the presentation, you can see it has sort of AAA quality, very, very low price. I found out as I was doing the review for this, because I got it on the Game Pass, so it was quote-unquote more free, but it's $29.99, extremely low for the amount of quality that you get here, and no leaks. No one I knew, nor the outlets I watch of the gaming news, knew that this thing was coming out. It looked like a lot of love and care was put into this title. I really like rhythm games, you know, not just the usual DDR stuff. Let's see, what other one was good? The Kingdom Hearts music one was kind of cool on Switch, but more important, the action rhythm games that take music and incorporate it to different genres. Another like not simple, but another recent game I played that has to do with music is Metal Hellsinger. I totally beat that game, a really good one. This one has a streamer mode as well, where you can turn off the original music that will potentially get copyrighted, and they put in more, you know, it's generic-ish, but it still works with the game. But yeah, some of the major artists that worked on this game are like 9 Inch Nails, and there's a whole list of them, but I think that's one of the big ones. Okay, the overall setting and theme here, very vibrant and colorful. So many things going. You just look around the map, you know, lots of expression with the characters, the models, and even the enemies. Good animation, fluid, big, gigantic black outlines on everything, because, you know, even though there's so much to look at, you can still make out your characters. It has that wonderful, smooth, cel-shaded look that, once again, reminds me of Jet Set Radio, which is one of my favorite games of all time. You know, surprisingly, the game's actually funny at times. It's definitely not cringy. I guess some people could perceive some moments as that, but honestly, overall, I think 80% of the dialogue here is good. It's not even forced dialogue. A lot of these characters and interactions, it seems to, you know, have some good, perfect timing. It seems legit, and it feels like that's what these characters would be saying in their situation without it feeling out of place. It's nice. Ooh, the combat, by the way, it's really amazing. Highly responsive. As soon as the first time I took control of Chai, you know, I knew what kind of game this was. I attacked on beats. It felt really good. You get great feedback from when you're doing well. Lots of different ways to fight. You know, attack enemies on the ground, bring them into the air, use your partners, don't use your partners, long range attacks, stick with little combos, major combos, mix them up. Lots of ways to fight, and they just keep on improving the combat by adding more and more mechanics as you play. Even like 4 or 5+ hours in the game, you're unlocking new things, new combos, new special attacks, new partner interactions, even more tutorials. You know, you don't even get a parry between like maybe 3 hours, and that changes up the games so much. Now, I guess it'd be pretty unfair to 100% gush on the game the whole time. I will include some of the bad things here. So the game has auto-locking, which it doesn't, you know, when you're attacking enemies. It's not that big an issue, except when there's way too many enemies around you. It's hard for you to, because if you're attacking melee, obviously whoever you're attacking next to, that's what you want to hit. But if you, for example, let's say you want to attack somebody with your partner who has a gun, you have to take down a shield. It's really hard to aim at them, and the camera was really annoying during some of the boss fights because it is auto lock on. So whenever you do certain attacks, your character is locked into an animation when you're attacking, and if the boss somehow moves a little bit backwards, let's say if they're on a platform, then you're going to be following them automatically, and you're going to be falling through pits, and it's a little annoying. Like, it got frustrating at some parts, but the camera, I don't know if they could fix that, but it wasn't too bad. Also, I can say that, you know, the narrative is kind of weak. A lot of the things that tend to happen seems a little too, oh, that's convenient. Wow, this guy had a base exactly right here, and now he's helping everyone else. You can make little loose connections to why things happen, and honestly, it's all there so everything flows quick and fast. But it's like, okay, that's a little too convenient that this is here, blah, 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 blah. But you know, the dialogue and all the character interactions and the environment, everything, it carries everything. So if you can just look over how loosely things are connected by convenience, then wow, you know, it works. Let's also bring up the accessibility. There's a rhythm assist, so you can change up the UI, so you can see a little bit of a rhythm bar going to the beat, so we can help new players out who've never played these types of games. You can also make it so, you know, you can play, you know, there's a lot of accessibility here. As mentioned, there's the streamer mode, so you can take off the copyright music. There's easy, normal, hard mode, and even a more difficult one. I played the hard mode, and there's more accessibilities for, like, just, you don't even have to do the rhythm for the most part if you don't want to. If you can turn all those settings on. Okay, so to summarize everything, amazing surprise drop. Hifi Rush is honestly AAA games these days that promote the hell out of it, really bring up expectations for months and years. A lot of them, you know, fail, and they really should be ashamed. This game is just a wonderful surprise. Miracle that no leaks happened. And this game, guys, I highly recommend you support Tango Gameworks. This game is so cheap for the quality that it has, 30 freaking bucks. And if you do want to get it on a sale, I say, dude, the minimum you should still buy it is like 25 bucks. It's such a freaking good game that you should support these guys, or you can play it on Xbox Game Pass as well, you know, support them that way as well. So that's gonna be it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, it helps a lot. If you haven't already, please sub for daily videos. If you're interested, I'll be putting the link to my playlist of this Let's Play, which I'm uploading on this channel, so subscribe for that. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.